Okay, I've previously went through a long, detailed reading and explanation of Pope Francis's declaration of allowing blessings of homosexual relationships. And I've also done a shorter one, about 30 minutes long, explaining it in a shorter context. This is going to be a much shorter context. I'm going to try and keep this down to just a few moments. Okay, as you see, the passages are right here in front of me, but I'm really not going to be going through them. If you'd like to see the longer ones, I encourage you to watch them. They will give you a better explanation of it all. But the bottom line is, Pope Francis, in their research and stuff, found that they could not bless homosexual relationships, or as they call it, irregular relationships as well. That's what both things. And it's not the relationship, it's the couples. Okay, it's the individuals that they're trying to bless. They can't bless the homosexual couples nor irregular couples, as what they call it in the text. And the reason why is because of their requirements previously laid down on marriage, and that they can't impart blessings of persons on the same sex and such by previous things, and that they have a very strict definition of marriage and such, so they can't go that direction. But Pope Francis still wanted to find a way to bless the couples in his thing, which is somewhat commendable, that he's not just throwing out the previously made Catholic rules to just do what he wants to do, but at the same time he's partially throwing out the rules, Jesus rules, God's rules, to bless such a situation. Okay, so his intent was to find a way to bless them. So what they determined was they couldn't do it in a written form that was designated and written, because there's laws that say they can't do that according to the Catholic Church pre-laws and stuff that they've already created in the past, because they are not allowed to make a what's the word I'm looking for? The L word. What is that? Anyway, they can't make a written form of this blessing for same-sex couples and irregular couples, because it's against the rules to write any blessing of such a thing in a written form. So Pope Francis and company basically set down, okay, so let's not do it in a written form, let's do it in a very, very, very informal form that doesn't look anything at all like marriage. Because if it looks like marriage, then it'll, as they say in the text, it could confuse people, so they must not do it anywhere around a marriage-looking situation or a couples union situation or a legal couples things that the state might do somewhere like in America. They must not do it that way. They must do it ad hoc, spontaneously, in some place not looking like it's blessing, not looking like a marriage in any way, shape, or form. But it is a blessing on couples, or, yes, couples, irregular or gay, and such. And so it's not to be intended to be a blessing of the sin, but it's intended to be a blessing of whatever part of this relationship might be a blessing, might be good. Okay, so they're basically trying to bless, they're allowing to bless whatever the good part of this relationship is, whatever it be. And I won't go into what all the different aspects of irregular relationships could be, because that could be really wild, and I'd have to put all kinds of disclaimers Basically, children wouldn't be allowed to watch this once I start talking about all that stuff. But that's the point. That's the goal. So he's made this declaration to do this, to bless them, to bless these couples, bless them as couples, not as individuals, but bless the relationship as couples, and such. It's odd because it's the perfect opportunity. He talks about how they're coming to the church and they're acknowledging the divine, and they want to have this with relationship with God and the church, and rather than calling them to repentance for their behavior so that they can truly be blessed by God, truly be blessed by Jesus, truly be blessed by walking in the ways that God has put forth for us to walk, he instead is saying don't even ask about the relationship, don't ask anything, it's basically the don't ask, don't tell policy for the ministers of the Catholic Church who do these blessings. They're not supposed to ask anything, don't ask any questions, just do it, just bless them as a couple and hope for the best. Kind of ridiculous, but nonetheless, that's what it is. So that's basically a summary of it. It's a blessing on same-sex couples and irregular couples, and it is supposed to be done ad hoc, spontaneously, not in a liturgical, there's that L word I was thinking of, which is the written form and a whole thing. Must not be that, because the rules say they must not do it in do bless any sin in a written form, and then out in some place out about town, basically at a shrine, along the walk, as you're passing along things, but apparently not inside the front of a church where the marriage ceremony would take place, and not at some other legal coupling or same-sex coupling marriage ceremony or anything of that nature. That's a summary of it. That's what it is. It's odd. It's frankly odd. And in reading it, I encourage you, if you are the reader and the logical kind, I encourage you to read it. There's all kinds of illogical fallacies throughout the whole thing, and just things that don't make sense in it as well. All right, again, I'm Apostle Guy, pastor and prophet, and I hope you like this. I encourage you to watch the other ones if you would like, and God bless you. Have a great day.
Here's an easy way to remember it. 1X, 1Y, you are a guy. You can be certain that you belong in the ranks of real men, like Genghis Khan, Napoleon Bonaparte, and...
If you liked my video, be sure to select like, as well as subscribe, and select notify to not miss future great videos.